I think Michelle Montcloth is a unique example, but we're seeing this more and more when people are growing their brands just in the digital space. So attribution doesn't always have to be from the traditional media side to the digital media side and how you're measuring that effect and what kind of lift it's giving to your website. But you can also take things like marketing channels like SEO and pay-per-click, email marketing, social media, all things that I think Montcloth are doing well. So where internally, and just from growing a brand in the digital space only, where are you seeing the most success in terms of which channel in the digital space is growing your brand the best and which one is delivering the most sales?
So in terms of which one is delivering the most sales, other than organic and direct traffic itself combined, it's definitely still Google. You know, when you look at the big three, Google, Yahoo, MSN, I mean, for us, Yahoo and MSN are tiny. You know, the alliance has occurred, you know, between Yahoo and MSN, so, you know, our focus will be on expanding MSN and hoping that will grow. We've seen some volume issues with MSN that I think everybody's probably seen over the past, I don't know, 5 years since they've been around with paid search. But other than Google, and, you know, it was crazy to me kind of coming in the door and seeing this, you know, within the first couple of minutes of me looking at the data, but the second one is by far Facebook. So for us, because it makes sense, you know, our demographic is Facebook, but actually our Facebook fan page and our Facebook ads. So, you know, we're not just relying on that traffic that we get from people commenting and really, you know, engaging on the site. I mean, what we're trying to accomplish is this sense of community. So accomplishing that via Facebook and Twitter and our blog itself, and then all of the relationships that we have with our bloggers out there. So there are hundreds and thousands of fashion bloggers, a lot of you ladies might know, hundreds of thousands of them, and we've developed all these really great relationships with them, and it's helped to, you know, get that interaction going across the blogs, across Twitter. You know, people who are bloggers of ours will tweet, but you know, what it comes down to in the end is, you know, the way I'm able to measure it the best is still within Google, but Facebook a close second, because we've got both. We've got the Facebook fan page and we've got the ads, and we spend, you know, a significant portion of our budget there. So, you know, it's Google as the number one expenditure for us, and then Facebook's still behind by a good margin, but it's number two. So if we didn't have that, I would say that, you know, we'd probably be in big trouble.
Yeah, if anybody has liked Modcloth on Facebook, every single one of their posts gets like 40 to 100 comments. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So if you're looking for a blueprint on how to grow fans on Facebook, it's definitely a good example to check out.
Yeah, we kind of, we ran into a little bit of an issue, and I don't know if anyone else is familiar with it. So several months ago, Facebook kind of changed their guidelines, so we couldn't run any more contests. So a lot of what we did was running these contests on Facebook and Twitter. So, you know, we're actually developing some applications that will help us accomplish that ourselves. So we brought in a bunch of people internally, a lot of engineers to help do that. But, you know, it's made it such that, you know, we've explored other options at the same time. And obviously we're trying to keep ahead of everything, so we're going through, you know, a major planning process for interactive and video ads too. And we've kind of branched out into some app ads. So it's both involvement in apps by way of just, you know, banner ads and things like that on the relevant apps for us, so fashion apps, but then also actual, you know, product feed-based app involvement.
So one of my goals is to get all of you traditional marketers to try to spend more in the digital space, obviously impacts an SEM agency. So that has been a difficult leap to make when you see clients walking in the door with a $180 million marketing budget and only $10 million is going to digital. What is the gap, and what is preventing the traditional side from saying, okay, digital is highly measurable, probably more measurable than traditional, and we can get all these great metrics, we can know what we spent yesterday and how many conversions we got or sales we got, how much revenue we drove, where it's a little more ambiguous on the traditional side. So what is the difficulty of saying to traditional marketers, let's let go and let's put half of our budget into digital, or even a quarter of it?
I can speak for this one. Clients currently at our agency, they've always done all traditional. So I would say the first thing is accountability. If you're on, well, speaking specifically from an online media point of view, if the campaign fails, what happens? I mean, there's benchmarks. There's industry benchmarks. You can have your own benchmarks if you've done something before. So if it fails, is someone willing to stick their neck out there? Kind of a tough call to do when you haven't done it before. Because if it fails, you're not going to get money again. You're not going to likely get another chance. I think another thing is just comfort. People speak the language of the traditional. That's what they know. That's their bread and butter. It's that cultural change. Are you willing to go out and experiment and try new things? There's a lack of understanding often that online is so manipulable. So you're creative, test A, B, C, D, and E, see which one performs better. Take it back all the way to the site analytics. Is one driving conversions more than another? And often they don't realize that they have that capacity. For smaller clients, when doing the testing, budget becomes an issue. Sometimes you only have enough budget to do 1 to 2 ads, and it's often just not in the SOW to make optimization changes. And I would say that the last one is probably just fear is such a big one. Just lack of education. What if it doesn't work? Traditional's been around for how many years? That's what they're comfortable with. That's what their decision makers are comfortable with. And often you can get your foot in the door saying online, yeah, let's do online. But as you go up that chain, there becomes more and more resistance to doing online. And that's difficult, from an agency point of view. You can't really get yourself always wedged up in those higher decision makers. So you're often relying on folks that don't have the experience. They don't really have the thrust to do online. So there's a lot of challenges. And I think that cultural is probably the largest and most difficult to overcome.
I would agree with that entirely, 100% of what you said. I would probably just add just another footnote. There's probably demographics where reach is a problem. There is we discover this frequently in terms of the digital marketing we do, that you simply cannot match the volume numbers of those traditional media. Now, the thing to kind of realize is that if you become locked in with particular kind of cohorts of people that are consuming media through different channels, those people are dying off every day. I'm sorry to inform you. And they're being replaced by people that are consuming in a different channel. And if you don't at least gradually experiment and get your feet wet in those up and coming channels, you are going to go the way of the dinosaur. You are going to get beat by the companies that have figured out how to make that particular transition. Now, some companies like ModCloth they've got, in a manner of speaking, a niche strategy. They say, okay, the people that are online that are these savvy people, that's our market. So they're, I would be surprised whether they would do freestanding inserts, for example.
Yeah, it's impossible for us to go the opposite route and
right.
Go traditional. I can't justify it, so I rarely do it. It's the exact opposite problem.
Yeah, it's the exact opposite problem. Yeah. But the thing is that we are evolving toward that, not the other way. And I think there will always be a certain degree of traditional, and there's a lot of innovation occurring in outdoor display, for example, and locational advertising and stuff like that. I think there's always going to be new things happening over on that side, but most definitely negotiating that is very, very important. And the extent to which, and it's a dangerous time, because I think in certain respects you can overreach into digital if it's really not your demographic, and in other cases you can go too slow, and a company that got it right is going to start beating it. And it is hard to catch up to a certain extent on the digital side. It is hard. There's, I think, in certain respects, digital is harder to catch up with than many of the other kinds of channels, because it is so technical, and there is such a huge technical data infrastructure that goes along with that. Maybe there are business models that will solve that outsourced. There are those actually, but I think but it is a bit harder to catch up on the online side. So I don't there's no I don't think there's any magical formula. Some people are going to overreach, some people are going to underreach. It's a difficult decision that needs to be thought about.